In this video, I'm going to explain the key advantages provided by understanding your natal astrology. Then I'm going to give you a full birth chart analysis for free at the end of this video so that you can make more money, have better relationships, and achieve your highest divine potential while on this planet. In this video, we're going to be talking all about natal astrology, focusing on the practical benefits it can provide for your life. Some of these including how to generate wealth, what type of businesses and careers will be successful for you, how to find and harmonize love and relationships, and where the strengths and weaknesses are in your soul. This information is so critical that if you attempt to approach life without it, unfortunately, you're going to be using a fundamentally flawed strategy. And that makes me very sad. It's like being given an instruction manual to life and then just choosing not to use it. It's genuinely difficult to express how much additional effort will be required for you to find your correct path without this tool. And that's exactly why it's here, and that's why we're giving it to you for free. Okay, so what actually is it? Natal astrology is the esoteric science of reading one's birth chart. Luckily, you only need to understand some very basic principles to wrap your head around this. For example, the positions and relationships between the planets at the precise moment of your birth describe your soul's nature and its destiny. Humanity has actually known this for thousands of years because it's extremely obvious to anyone who seriously investigates it. Now, to clarify, I'm not talking about investigating it through a Western lens because Western paradigms have been 100% spiritually compromised. But for those who choose not to operate in spiritual insanity, there is a lot to be found here. The mechanism behind natal astrology is quite simple. Each soul has a specific purpose, and they accumulate experience towards that purpose as they move through more and more complex evolutionary experiences. Eventually, the soul accumulates enough experience to begin a human life, where it can continue to expand its knowledge and awareness in a more complex environment. Now, what happens before birth is the universe has to wait until the exact moment arrives that perfectly aligns the planets to reflect that soul's progress so far. So the universe has to wait a bit, but then a doorway opens that is suitable enough for that soul to pass through the veil. And then at that moment, the human is born, but they're born at a moment that perfectly describes the nature of that soul. So there's an internal state of energy with the soul, it has a certain nature, and the universe just sort of waits until the external world, the physical dimension, is also aligning to that same internal nature of the soul. And this creates a dynamic where the soul can just sort of slip through the veil because inner and external are directly aligned with each other. So, like many people assume, it's not necessarily the case that the planets create the nature of the soul. They simply inform the amount of progress that's been made by describing the soul as it passes through the veil. So that's the how, in simple terms, but let's get a bit more practical by exploring something that's relative to everyone, such as wealth. The birth chart is a riddle, which contains patterns and sets of instructions that will inform the direction of a person's life. Certain souls, known as astrologers, are born with a skill set that allows them to decode these patterns through a mixture of logic and intuition. Let me show you an example birth chart to illustrate this concept. This chart here is a Cancer rising, which means that the zodiac sign of Cancer was positioned on the eastern horizon at the time of the person's birth. The planetary ruler of Cancer is the moon. The moon is exalted, which means very powerful in the sign of Taurus. This exalted moon is applying into a direct alignment with Jupiter, who is the planet that rules wealth, and both of them are in the 10th house of business. This configuration immediately reveals that we are dealing with a soul here who has the potential to be extremely successful in business. So it would be wise for this person to start pursuing business education as early in life as possible. But what type of business will this person be good at? That's pretty easy to find as well. The second house, which rules over wealth and finances, holds part of the answer here. The second house is ruled by the zodiac sign Leo, which is then ruled by the planet, the sun. The sun is in the ninth house of higher education, sacred wisdom, public expression of opinion, and advertising. So immediately, we know that we are dealing with a teacher or a communicator of some variety. But what else can we find here? The sun is applying into a direct alignment with Neptune, which infuses a mystical or spiritual quality into this planetary placement. Given that the planet of communication, Mercury, and the planet of deep wisdom, Saturn, are both present here, we can pretty easily see that this person is designed to be some kind of spiritual teacher. Now, this is further emphasized by the fact that all of the planets were positioned above the horizon line at the time of this person's birth. This indicates that visibility is going to be a key theme in this person's life, having their teachings in front of people. Now, this is important because it allows me to see that when it comes to these ninth house placements, we are going to be focused more on the teaching side of the ninth house rather than something like the advertising component, marketing itself. Now, this is just a brief and very simple example of how we as astrologers can interpret these riddles to find your life patterns. And speaking of these patterns, let's explore this concept for a moment, because this is really important for the success that you can achieve in your life. Once you understand that a pattern is playing out in your birth chart, you can start to work that pattern like an engine. For example, in my life, I can really only make good money if I'm helping people through their suffering or teaching them high spiritual wisdom, and usually the two will align together. Now, because I know this, I've built my entire life and business around this concept. So now, all I have to do is just show up and the clients will come, because I'm in direct alignment with the flow of reality and my soul existing within that reality. There is zero energetic resistance between me and my higher purpose, because every aspect of my reality has been handcrafted to serve that purpose. And this is pattern mastery. It's not just that I understand the patterns that I'm playing out, I've commercialized them in a way that allows me to serve people in exchange for money and then use that same money to find even more people to serve. This is a divine financial system, and it is one of the most powerful wealth creation tools that there is, because there's simply no limit to how much the universe wants you to perform your cosmic purpose, which of course is hidden within your natal astrology. The only actual limit to the service you can perform is how well your life and business are designed in service of that cosmic purpose. Now, humans have a tendency, in my experience, to complicate life, but this is really simple and it works every single time because it was designed by divine. And by the way, this isn't just about wealth. These patterns inform every area of life, and I have personally used them to achieve union with my dream partner, because it doesn't matter what you want. All things start here at the very beginning. Because remember, you were born at a moment of time which projected your highest potential through the fabric of reality. And if you want to learn exactly what that potential is for free, it would be my honor to show you that. And I'll be leaving a link below this video, and you can just go ahead and click that, fill in some basic information about the time you were born, the date you were born, the location you were born, etc. And we will go ahead and we will calculate all this information for you and send it to you. So I want to thank you for tuning into this video, and I'll see you in the next one.